Hey guys, in this video we'll be going over the Astro-Viewer. The Astro-Viewer is located in Haven Forest and sits atop a large precursor pillar. The first time we go to the forest is by Samus's request. He asks us to kill off the Dark Eco infestation. Doing so raises the precursor pillar slightly in the water, revealing a piece of Mars armor. After hearing about the 5 artifacts we need in conjunction with the pillars, we take the armor and the center pillar raises even further into the sky.
Jak, my boy, Samus here. While you're near the entrance to South Haven Forest, could you please go check out reports of a Dark Eco infestation there? It seems someone is still experimenting with Dark Eco. If you find infected plants, you must destroy them before they spread. There are some ancient precursor pillars in the forest that may have a link to the catacombs. But if the metalheads overrun the place, we'll never know for sure. Make me proud.
Jak, you can kill those plants with your jet board. Just scoop up green eco energy and then lay it down over the plants.
Great work, Jak. Those precursor pillars are some of the oldest artifacts we've ever found. Look, that there were some ancient ruins to the west that were activated by 5 special artifacts and revealed wondrous truths. I'll see what I can find out.
After returning with 4 out of 5 of the artifacts, the Hollow Cube, Beam Generator, Precursor Prism, and Quantum Reflector, we now have to beat a series of challenges throughout the forest. 5 Oracle statues have now emerged. Beat their ring challenges to gain access to the Astro-Viewer. After reaching the top and activating the artifacts you have acquired, the precursors will speak to you.
Approach the Astro-Viewer, Time Warrior. Behold the seed of our destruction.
What? Let me see! Is she hot?
We precursors built many worlds across the universe, shaping them with eco into something good. But we were foolish. The Dark Makers were once precursors, but their exposure to Dark Eco changed them. They began twisting worlds, conquering life, and dark ages ensued. Now the Dark Ones have found your world and are coming to claim it for themselves.
Well, I could ruin your whole day!
I think this one's bigger than both of us.
There is but one hope left. You will find a planetary defense system hidden deep at the core of the planet. There is still a chance to save your world. I hope you are more successful than many planets whose fate has already been closed.
This is our first glimpse of the Astro-Viewer's workings. At this stage, the Astro-Viewer is incomplete, missing one of the artifacts, but the precursors are still able to communicate, and Jak can use the Astro-Viewer to look at the Day Star. using the Astro-Viewer as a telescope and seeing the Daystar for what it really is. The precursors are also able to show Jak the planetary defense system, which is located at the planet's core. Your third visit to the forest comes after acquiring the final artifact, the time map. You now have to fight your way through the forest to reach the Astro-Viewer. Now the Astro-Viewer can be fully activated. This time it links Jak's consciousness to a Darkmaker bot so he can sabotage the Darkmaker ship. After his success, the precursors show him a secret.
Wonderful, Jak. I knew that machine was special.
Get out of my head.
Jak? Jak? I'm losing you, buddy!
It's linking me into the Darkmaker ship systems. They're taking me to them.
Jak! Jak!
Our hero! What the? Daxter?
What? What'd you see? Let me look. Hello, elevator, bottom floor, going up. Come on. Ah, I hate being short.
It just seemed for a moment, it looked like... No, it couldn't have been.
The Astro-Viewer is a very mysterious piece of precursor technology. It sits atop a large precursor pillar in an old forest with floating rings and spheres above. The Astro-Viewer itself floats above the center pillar, under the orbiting rings and spheres. A long piece of precursor metal with a small orbiting piece circles it. There is a small eyepiece on one of the ends, with two prongs sticking down from the main section. On the opposite side from the eyepiece, we have a much larger piece of glass, another triangle shape, but this time it is in the opposite orientation. This points towards a large domed glass, encased in precursor metal. After this we have two precursor metal rings, both cut in half. Then finally we have a large piece of glass. This is floating by itself. After collecting the artifacts, these also appear here too. The holocube, prism and quantum deflector can be seen orbiting the Astro-Viewer, except the beam generator, as this is in a fixed location to the side. One thing to note is that the time map cannot be found here. This could be because it is so important Jak didn't want to leave it unattended. The rings and spheres are reminiscent of other precursor structures and artifacts, like the Forbidden Temple in the Forbidden Jungle and the time map itself. These might have some significance. As the Astro-Viewer deals with space, these could have some type of astronomical representation. The Astro-Viewer has multiple uses we know about. Being able to view objects from far away, like that of a telescope. This was when 4 out of 5 artifacts were activated, however, and once all 5 had been activated, things change. We can now have our consciousness sent through time and space to interact with faraway objects.
Jak? I'm losing you, buddy!
It's linking me into the Darkmaker ship systems. They're taking me to them.
The Darkmakers seem very possessive over the Astro-Viewer, as they have set up a very substantial defense around it. Maybe they know more secrets about it than we do. You can see dark eco lightning bolts connecting to the Astro-Viewer. It could be possible that they were able to use the Astro-Viewer in reverse, and used it to send themselves to the planet's surface. Another thing that happens while using the Astro-Viewer was Jak being shown images. This was done while communicating with the precursors, so it is entirely possible this is a precursor power, not a feature of the Astro-Viewer. But Jak is shown the planetary defense system, which is at the core of the planet Jak is currently standing on, and would be unable to view it through the Astro-Viewer. One other small detail of the Astro-Viewer is we are tasked with collecting 5 artifacts. The Oracle statues task us with beating 5 of their ring challenges, and there are also 5 pillars leading up to the central pillar. The Astro-Viewer is an amazing part of the game. It is something that manages to answer questions while at the same time opens up the door for many more to be asked. The mysterious vibe that surrounds the Astro-Viewer is just what makes the Jak and Daxter lore so intriguing. And that's my overview on the Astro-Viewer. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.